Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. For this video I will attempt, I will not say I will actually do it, but I will attempt collimating this camera here, the lens on this camera. And by the issue I'm currently having with this camera is that when I first got it, this range adjuster here was kind of stuck. So what I did was I unscrewed this a bit. I unscrewed these, see the tiny screws there, and I was able to take this off, and I did not really collimate it. I did not really make any adjustments. I just fiddle with the lens, and there is actually a screw in there that the lens fits into, right? The casing has a screw in there, so you screw the lens in or out by turning this, and that actually changes the distance between the lens and the film and the lens and your subject, right? So what I did was, I think I put it on at the wrong setting, and what happened with that obviously is that some of the images that I took with this camera were unfocused. And so what I'm doing now is to try and collimate this and to fix it. So any of you watching, if you have a camera like this, a folding camera like this, you will be able to use this technique to collimate your cameras, okay? Now what I got, and I did an unboxing just the last video, was this over here on Amazon. So this is a tool kit that has so many tools in there. And as you can see, it has a lot of nice fine point tools. I got this for about $12 or $14 or something on Amazon. It's very inexpensive, and it has some very nice tools in there. And really, these are the kind of tools that you want to have when you are doing something of this nature. And so I'm so happy that it just came right in time for me to do this. It also has other tools like this one here, the flexible handle, so that you can go around corners and screw things in at around corners. So this is awesome. This is great to have. I plan to use this on my future other film cameras as well, because every now and then I do want to be able to tune my cameras and try and fix those that are faulty. So it's good to have this. Overall it looks very nice. Well, good quality. I would recommend this to anybody out there that wants to have the tools for fixing your cameras. And there are a ton of videos online on how to fix your film cameras when they break, because the fact is that you would be hard pressed to find anyone that will actually fix your cameras for you these days. So without much ado, I'm just gonna go straight to this and try and I'm gonna try and take this off, and I'm gonna go through the process of collimating this. So what I'm gonna start off with is I think I'm gonna use the really tiny one here, the smallest one, which is the 1.0 over there. Okay, because that's the smallest size that I think I need to do this unscrewing. Slip it in. Now this tool set, I must say, feels very nice in the hand to have. So these are the little holes. If you just pay it, you'll notice those little holes right there. And that's what I'm gonna try and screw it with. And it does fit in there nicely. I'm gonna spin this around, and I can see that as I'm spinning it, the screws are coming out, as you can see right there. Okay, so I don't want to lose the screw. So what I'm going to do is when they come out an appreciable amount, I don't let them fall out. So I just keep them in there intact, because this thing will still come off whether or not the screws fall out. Okay, so good to have a nice tool to work with. See, so the moment I got that done, this can just lift up, and as you can see, it still has the screws attached to them like that. Okay, it still has the screws on them. Now that is how the lens looks like without the adjuster on there. Okay, and as you can see, this thing here rotates, and as it spins, it basically adjusts the distance of the lens from the film and from the subject. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in as I work on this next portion. I'm going to take this lens off for now. I just want to make sure that the threading is correct. Okay, and this is how it looks like, the lens itself. Okay, so the lens is a nice clean lens. Nice clean lens. Just blow on it a bit. And as you can see, that's how the shutter looks like on the inside. It's nice and clean as well. So I'm not sure what now to collimate it. We have to figure out how does this work. Now this is not my original idea here. Okay, I've actually seen some videos on YouTube, and I'm hoping that I can do it in a better way to help you guys out there. So this is the tightest that it can go down to. Okay, but in order to do this, I'm gonna have to open the back of this now, and that's what I'm just gonna do. And the next step is to actually put this frosted sticky tape on the back here, and that's actually going to help to display the image, any image at the back here, and it will be on the same level as the film would be, right? Same level, same place. So the idea is that if the image that forms on that frosted tape is nice and sharp when you're focusing at infinity, then that would be where you would set the marking as infinity on your lens with the cap. So what I do, it doesn't quite work with clear tape, and what I do is I'm gonna stick it on the back, make sure it's nice and taut like that. Okay, and I'm gonna add some more to cover this entire back here. It's actually quite cool when you look at it. It almost looks like one of those waist level viewfinders that you would see out there on the TLRs. It gives that effect, which is quite cool. So what I'm doing, that's the next one over here. I think one more strip and it should be good. Okay. And just like that. Okay, so what's the next step? Now the next step is, as I adjust this to a light source, I would see the image either be clear or sharpened here, and that's what I'm gonna do now. So I'm gonna change the setting on my camera here to try and figure this out. So for this to work, you will have to set your camera at the bulb setting. Okay, so for this camera, it's right over here. Let's see, just make sure you can see it clearly. So that would be the B setting over here. So my camera is at the bulb setting, so that means that when I depress the shutter release, what's gonna happen is that the shutter will stay open, and that way I'm actually going to tape the shutter down with some more tape, and that way it just stays on, and that's one hand free, so I don't have to keep my finger on this. So what you do is, I have my tape here. I'm just going to caulk the shutter. Okay, that way I can actually depress this, and I'm just gonna press this down so the shutter is released, and you can see that it's nice and clear. Okay, so yeah, the shutter is released, and then now the images will start forming on this, and it's quite cool when you see the image forming on this tape over here. And I'm gonna make adjustments until the images are sharp enough. So what I'm gonna do is to estimate the distances between the images, and I also have another tool that I'm gonna use to see how sharp the image is, and that tool is a magnifier. I use this in the dark room to check on my grain while I'm doing the focusing. If you have a magnifying lens, that would be good enough. That allows you to be able to check to see how sharp the image is here. So you're gonna hold this and sort of check the image that's formed in the back here. So I'm gonna need both hands. Technically, this will be even better if I set this up on a tripod, and you know what, I'm actually going to do that, so that I'm gonna have one hand, both my hands free to make the adjustments and keep this distance fixed. Okay.